Today I'm headed back down to Ted's Harley-Davidson down in Alton to meet with the owner of the dealership. We're talking in another video about how they wanted me to do some of the marketing for them, especially since riding season's upon us now, and they got lots of events, and you know they're gonna have deals on bikes and stuff going on here soon. So, whoa, Miss Shirley likes to kick. So that's where I'm on my way right now. It's a great day. It's gonna be about 80 degrees, a little breezy, but beautiful. Cover girl. So let's talk about a few things. I'm fairly new to this whole motorcycling thing, if you may have heard me ramble about before. I know one of the things that'll probably keep people from, you know, being into motorcycles, riding bikes, I guess is fear. And I get it. I totally understand that, because compared to riding in a car where you're inside a cage pretty much, motorcycle, you're out in the open. You know, if one of these cars right here would just run right into me going 25, there's a good chance I could die. But, you know, if you're hitting a car going 25 miles an hour, chances are you're gonna live. You can't let fear run your life. If you let fear run your life, you're not gonna do anything. You're not gonna make a difference in anything if you don't take chances. And the thing about motorcycles is they're not as dangerous as everybody, I guess, perceives them. That's so negative about motorcycling. I mean, yeah, there's always, every time I get on this bike, the one thing I think about most is my wife and kids. Because I want to make sure when I ride, I get wherever I'm going and back again with the bike straight up and down. Shiny side up, as they say. But other than fear, there shouldn't be too much that's holding you back. Especially if you're financially, you know, if you have the means financially to afford a bike and it's something you want to do, you know, why not try it? Go take an MSF course. Just see if you like it first. I mean, a lot of the MSF courses around here don't cost you nothing, but maybe a weekend of your time. And if you don't like it, you don't have to pursue it. I watched another motovlogger, Matt Laidlaw. This is one I didn't mention in my previous video of favorite motovloggers, but he's probably another honorable mention I should have stuck up there. But Matt Laidlaw, I believe he works for a Harley-Davidson dealership. And he's pretty unbiased with his reviews and his views on motorcycling and the motorcycling industry. Now, he brought up some good points in another video, you know, why people aren't that much into motorcycling now as they were, you know, 20 years ago. And he mentioned millennials. Now, I know it's whatever age group you fall into. You know, I know you got your baby boomers who are probably Harley's biggest clientele. And they just say that, oh, the baby boomers are dying off, and Harley bikes, they don't have enough technology, you know, to what all these young kids want. I mean, I don't understand that, because if you look at a lot of the new Harleys, especially the bigger bikes, they are just filled with stuff like GPS. You know, the sound systems in them are incredible. But I know there's that thing where, hey, price is a big factor in why people aren't buying Harley-Davidson. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I think I know the prices of Harleys are as high as they are. I mean, you're paying for a brand name just like you would Nike or Adidas or Reebok. And I mean you walk around, you see these kids that are talking about how these things are so expensive, but they're walking around with $300 Air Jordans. I mean, yeah, $300 is nothing compared to, you know, a $35,000 Road King or something like that. But it's just the principle. But there's another thing where, and I know, because student loans are ridiculous. And people are paying these ridiculously high student loan payments just to get a bachelor's or a master's degree. And God, I don't even want to know what people pay to to get their doctorate degree. That's got to be astronomical. I mean, you got to even question, is it even worth it to get that much education when you're pretty much going to have debt for the rest of your life? You do not have to go to a 4-year university to get a good job. You just don't. You could go to a tech college, you could go to a trade school. There are dozens of other things that you could do besides doing what everybody else does and, oh, I gotta go to Illinois State University, or I gotta go to ASU, or I gotta go to this college because that's what you gotta do. You know what? There's no guarantee if you go to a college for 4 years anymore that you're gonna have a good job. There just isn't. It seems like anymore, if you want to go to a 4-year university, you're gonna have to go for 6 years plus to get a good degree, to get a decent job. And I'm not talking about a good, great, what the hell was that? It looked like a freaking hawk. But anyway, you don't need to go to a 4-year university to get a good job. You just don't. I mean, look at me. I went to graphic design school for 2 years and got a degree. Now, this is back when having a bachelor's degree wasn't that big of a deal. We're talking like 1999. No, actually, I graduated 2002 from college. And we didn't have that bullshit where you have to go take gen ed classes for 2 years before you actually get into your major, or what you actually want to study to have a career in. My school, I got right into what I wanted to do. All the classes for like 6 weeks apiece. Went 6 weeks, boom, you had another class, 6 weeks, boom. And I went year-round besides a couple of breaks for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And those were only a few days. So I didn't come home much. But I got a degree, and, you know, within 6 months or so, I had my first design job. Now, granted, the job wasn't that great. It didn't pay that much. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta pay your dues. And I've been doing graphic design now for 15 years. And am I rich right now? No. I'll never be rich being a graphic designer. I knew that. Maybe making decent money. But long story short, don't swallow the Kool-Aid into the idea that you have to go to school for 6 years to get a decent job. You just don't. But yeah, I get it. Harley-Davidsons compared to other bikes are expensive. But you're paying for a brand name that's been around for well over 100 years. You're also paying for quality work done to a motorcycle. There's no plastic on this bike, except for some of the aftermarket parts I put on it. But you're talking steel. You're talking good raw materials that went into making this bike. And Harley doesn't cut corners. They do everything right. Now, are there some Harleys out there that break down? Sure. That happens to every motorcycle brand, though. That happens to every car brand. Why do you think there's people that dog on Ford? Why do you think there's people that dog on Chevy? It's a preference. So again, coming around full circle, why people dog on Harley-Davidsons, I just don't see it. You don't need to dog on another brand because you don't like it. You don't like it? Talk about your own shit. And another thing, you don't have to buy a brand new Harley-Davidson. You don't have to spend $18,000 on a Harley-Davidson. I bought this Sportster for under $6,000. I bought it used. It had very, very low miles on it, and you can find those deals everywhere. There's Cycle Trader. There's Facebook Marketplace. There are tons of other places to buy bikes other than a dealership. But I know when I buy my next bike, I'm going to buy at a dealership, and it's probably going to be Ted's because of the way they treat their customers. Every time I've gone in there, I've never bought a bike there. And I've gone in there to buy parts for my bike. I've gone in there to buy, you know, a t-shirt here and there. I've spent some money at the dealership, and you don't see me complaining. And they're not complaining. Now, I know Harley's got some ideas that's going on right now to get some things into motion to where they can sell to the younger demographic. I mean, I know there are lots of people out there that are in that millennial demographic that are interested in Harley-Davidsons. But like I said, go find a used one. The dealerships have used bikes. You can find I got this bike off of Craigslist. It was a Craigslist thing. I got lucky with, you know, I know Craigslist could be sketchy, but the guy that I made a deal with on this bike was really cool. I mean, it was just a good situation. And that can happen to you too. You just have to look for it. And another thing, I don't know, I mean, I'm not real big on labeling generations. Because you got the baby boomers, you got the, you know, the Gen Xers, you got this and that. I mean, I don't know why we put labels on people, but I don't know what age group you guys fall in. But I know, I guess me, I was born in 82. So that either makes me a really young, I don't know what it would be, a really young baby boomer or Gen Xer or a really old millennial. But I know they've made this separate group called Zennials. And when I saw that this whole group name came about, and you know, what are the characteristics of a Zennial, I fell right into that, and I'm like, yeah, I guess if you're gonna throw name tags on a demographic, well, I guess I would fall into that, because with Zennials, we've seen pretty much what baby boomers and what the millennials have seen over their lifetime. Because when I grew up, there were no cell phones, there was no internet. Heck, we didn't even have a computer in our house till I was 16 or 17. And even then, we had dial-up internet. How would you guys like to live with dial-up internet, knowing the type of freaking speeds that we have now?
You've got mail.
But you know, growing up, if we wanted to entertain ourselves, of course we had TV, but we went outside and played. We didn't sit there on a tablet, you know, the whole time, all day, every day, or on video games. But yeah, I grew up playing video games. Just about everybody did that I went to school with, or that's in my age group. And then I'm not dogging on millennials, man. Millennials are our future. They're our future CEOs. And for some people, maybe even our future bosses. But I don't know, I'm just kind of rambling on about several things. I got a decent ride, so I just figured I'd turn on the GoPro and do a little vlog. I know I rambled on here, and I apologize, but if fear is a big reason why the younger generation isn't getting into motorcycling, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, was I hesitant when I started riding? Oh, sure. I wasn't scared. You know, I'm just trying to play it. I've just been trying to play it safe, because I know how dangerous it could be. And you know, when you have a family, you got to think about what impact your decisions make on that family. Anyway, guys, if you can, thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't yet, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of today's subject, and I'll see you next time.